You feel the magic? Do you hear the roar? Welcome to Afifthofjack Gaming, where today we are having a special little project that we're going to be covering today. But before we end up doing that, let's go talk about the channel affiliate, Organic Price Books, where you can use the code Afifthofjack to save $2 off, or if you have 4 or more books, you can rock it with the code Jacket Together to save 5% off your entire order instead. Orders with $30 or more ends up getting free media mail shipping, so you get to see how bomb-proof OPB sends their books. Without further ado, let's switch the cam over and show you what we're talking about today. Alright, we're going to be talking about Dynamite Entertainment's newest crowdfunded project with backer kit. That's the 40th anniversary Thundercats Classic Years Omnibus. That's right, this is going to be the stuff that Marvel came out with when the show was coming over with it. This is going to be all 24, I wanted to say episodes, all 24 issues that you can end up having. However, you're going to have a couple different choices that's going to be coming with that. Oh, it's also important to be saying, before we end up doing that, they made the scans, they went over and restored it, so this is brought back up. So if you're not a big person about restored media, this isn't going to be your alley. Or if you're a person that wants to see the updated files, this would be right there. So like I said, it's crowdfunded. So right now we have, at the time of airing this, 28 days left before it ends up coming out. It's already set to go, but it has a bunch of backer goals and stuff like that. But we'll break that down a little bit later. Alright, we got 2 different ways that you can end up collecting this. You have the 2 trade paperbacks, so if you're a trade paperback person, this will also offer it to you. Each trade paperback is going to have 12 different issues. Or you got 2 different kind of omnibus covers. So you have like the standard and variant covers. But these are going to be oversized. These are going to be your omnibus size. What's that? Well, let's slide back over and we'll cover that real quick. Alright, so here's your normal trade paperback size. It's not too bad. It's a decent size. But let me reach back over here, grab an omnibus. And that's a little bit bigger. For size details, I'll put the trade paperback in front of the omnibus and you'll be able to see how much more you end up getting. So like I said, the trade paperback is going to be a soft cover, and the omnibus is going to be a hard cover. So that's definitely something that's going to be right down our alley. Without further ado, let's go break down what we ended up picking up. So the covers that we have is from the different issues that comes over with this. I can't remember exactly what issues they ended up saying. I want to say one's 5 and one's 7 on the trade paperbacks. But I know for sure that this one is going to be the first issue of Thundercats. And then this is a homage cover by Deacon Scheifele. You end up having a homage cover that's going to be over with it. The big thing about this is the person that's writing the ongoing series of Thundercats that's over at Dynamite right now as we speak. Like I said, that you end up having that. This has issues number 1 through 24. So these books are going to be around 600 pages. And like I said, the omnibus is going to be a little bit oversized. And that gives you a nice little option that you can end up going. They have a different pledge levels. So let's look at those real quick. For your basic levels, you have $100 for either the classic or the deacon cover and the omnibus. Or if you're going with the soft cover trades, you have $40 for each. So it'll be $80 for the trade paperbacks if you get both of them. You also can end up getting one or the other, as you can see what people ended up doing. They got the first one, and then they got the second one. It's also important to be saying that this may end up coming over to the regular market. Right now, this is just a crowdfunded method, and this is where they're going to end up trying to get people to get the interest into the book itself. But you also have upgraded options with the omnibus that you can end up going with. You could go, if you end up going with the Deacon cover, you can pay an extra $100 and to get it signed by Deacon. Or if you go with the classic cover, you can get it signed by Brett Breeding. Or if you're going full baller with the book, you can pay $350 and get it signed by Larry Kinney, who is the original voice actor of Lion-O. That's right, he's one of the 3 surviving members of Thundercats. So that's something that's awesome to be a little piece of history. And just speaking about Larry Kinney, he's nice. He's an awesome ambassador. And honestly, he's a really nice person. But you also have other avenues that you can end up going. You can end up going the Treasury route, which is $40. And this is only going to be issue number 1. But it's going to be huge. It's going to be a monster size with it. And then you have other little tidbits that you can end up going. You could go with exclusive retail covers for the ongoing series. Or you can end up getting one from Chitara, the first issue of that, which just finished up not too long ago. Facsimile covers, foil covers, metal covers, original or sketch art covers. And then you also have a couple different artist ways that you can end up going. You got Ken Hashner, where you can end up having the cover recreation that's behind him. Or you also could be one of 6, it looks like, to get the recreation of Brett Reeling, the original art that came along with it. That's a big cost to it, though. It's $3,500. Holy smokes, and you don't even get the book with that. You just get the original art. So you have to pay $3,600 to get the book and that. And then earlier I talked about stretch goals. With it being a crowdfunded project, you can end up going over and getting the stretch goals that comes with it. So what those stretch goals are going to end up being, at $100,000, all the backers will be able to get a free Thundercats animation mini print. And then they have 2 other goals that could be accomplished. They got one at $198,500. It's yet to be revealed. And they have one that's at $250,000. That's also yet to be revealed. Now comes the bottom line here, is shipping. Now, all these shipping rates are based on just the book itself, or not including the little extras that we can end up getting. So, with that in mind, it's probably going to end up going up. And what they ended up using is the USPS system. So this is coming from, if you're in the States, so this is coming from post office. If you're in the United States, it's not too bad because it's coming at $8. However, if you're over at places like Australia/New Zealand, it's going to cost you as much as $84. Or if you're your next door neighbor, it costs $52. Holy smokes. Now that's something that you got to think if it's going to be worth for you to be able to back, to be able to pay that little extra or not. Also, it's noted that prices could end up going up because they're looking at shipping these out in May. Now, let's talk about a few people that's been behind this little project that they end up having here. You have David Michelinie. That's right, the one that still ended up doing any kind of Marvel work with Venom and Carnage. Then you have Jen Mooney, which ended up passing away, I guess, in 2008 at the age of 88. And then we have other contributors. Right here has a nice little list of what we ended up having. Keynotes is Jerry Conway, Tom DeFalco, Michael Esposito, and I think those are the ones that stand out to me. And it's also important is that you can end up in the add-ons, you can also end up picking up other avenues with that. Like if you didn't end up, or if you're curious about the ongoing series that's going on, you can end up adding the ongoing series. It has both Volume 1 and Volume 2 for an additional $20 a piece. So that will end up giving you 1 through 5 if you pick up the first volume, and 6 through 10 if you pick up the second volume. And then it also has the Chitara spin-off where it ends up having 1 through 5, so it has the entire series. So it gives you a little bit of the old and then also the new. 25 days left at when this comes out. So we're going to have 25 days left to be able to back this. I'm hoping it gets a little bit big following, but you never know. So let's slide it back over to give our final thoughts about the book. And here's a good opportunity if you haven't read it like myself to be able to pick it up and have it possibly in an oversized format. I ended up having a custom made of the Wildstorm content that we ended up having. And I have to say this is going to be buttoned up right next to that and it's going to be awesome. But if this is successful, that could lead to other little projects, such as the UK versions that ended up coming out, going and get their own book. Also, that can end up trying to go get the Wildstorm and all that project as well. And that would be amazing to be able to have it all and have an official version of that. And that would be something I'll be super excited about. And if you have a big Thundercat fan, this would be right down their alley. However, you won't be getting this before Christmas or anything like that. So beware of that kind of aspect to it, especially if you're going to try and end up doing it. It's an awesome little project that I would like to see to be successful and continue down the road because I want to get as much Thundercats as I can. Now it sounds a little bit greedy, but with that, you felt the magic, you heard the roar, because the Thundercats are loose. And until next time, we'll set you loose and have a good day.